There we go. It's recorded now. So welcome everyone to Leave Your Legacy. Today we'll be talking about some of the things that we've done in eBoard and reasons why you should join eBoard and be part of this community. So if you haven't signed in, hello Gabe. And we got the trophy here too.
Just a thumbs up.
But without further ado, let's move on with the slides. So next year's eBoard is going to have 3 different departments or teams. There's going to be an operations team, there's going to be an internal teams, and there's going to be an external team. Previously, you probably heard that we had ops versus admin side, but ever since we've kind of looked at what we're doing this year and the things that we're going to progress for next year, we decided to expand the admin team into internal and external. So due to the future VPs for next year want to talk about their specific teams.
You want us to come up?
Yeah, or you can stand up, that's fine. The mic can hear you anyways. Give it up for the VP.
Hello, everybody. I am Gabriel.
No, really?
I will be the Vice President of Operations, which means that I will be the one in charge of all of our kind of projects and workshops and stuff like that. I'll be managing at a high level, basically everything that's going on like the technical side of things. And some of the big things that we have coming up will be stuff like Red versus Blue. And obviously we have our workshops and meetings like that. Would you like to go next?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Jasmine. I'm our Vice President of External, which basically means I oversee communications with non-members. So that's our local community, that's our alumni network, that's sponsors, and we also oversee Tech Symposium. So if you want to get kind of into everything we do, that's, I want to say technical adjacent, because there's still events where you get to use your technical skills, but you're also exercising those softer skills. You're working with alumni, you're building your social network, not technical network. Join External.
Hey guys, my name is Jessica. I'm going to be your VP of Internal for next year, and my role is basically to make sure that we have membership involvement, try to get as much of what we're doing, our workshops, all the way to like what we do like externally, outside of CPP and outside of this community. And try to transfer that knowledge to you guys, try to like get you guys as involved as possible in all of our projects, and just try to like form a bridge between, eBoard and general members and allow you guys to come help us through the Swintern program.
Woo! Yeah. Why Swift? I'm gonna hand it over to Gabe to talk about why you should join Swift.
So at the end of the day, everybody here at Swift comes here to learn. Doesn't matter what condition or level that you come in here into Swift as, doesn't matter what level you come into Cal Poly as, you come to Swift to learn. If your goal is to learn, come to Swift. Swift is your home. At Swift, you'll be able to build your technical skills, expertise, and your confidence in your skills. You'll be able to learn all kinds of different things. Doesn't matter if you have only touched a Mac in your life or you're already a master at every single OS that you've ever come across. You will always have something new to learn at Swift. You'll also be able to find your purpose here at Swift. Everyone on board has the goal of trying to help everyone here, everyone that has to be remote, everybody that's in our communities. Your purpose at Swift is going to be one of the greatest things you'll ever be able to experience, and that's coming from my personal experience. Lastly, you'll also have the opportunity to build leadership, team building, and communication experience with a whole bunch of different people. Whether that means you're just working within the team, whether that means that you're going to be communicating with other clubs, other schools, your I don't know, your friends and stuff like that, trying to get them to come into Swift. You'll be able to learn all these different kinds of things. Yes, they will help you on your resume. Yes, they will help you in real life. But also, it's just a wonderful experience being able to learn these things. you'd be surprised how far you can grow, no matter where you currently are. You will find something that will stick with you for the rest of your life at Swift. That's why you should join Swifty Boy.
I'm gonna do a little bit of something. So would everyone like to stand up? For the anthem?
Yeah.
Yes.
National anthem. Where's the flag? Yeah.
We just did a logo. To the logo. I swear allegiance to the logo of Swift.
So you know how like you watch those YouTube videos where they ask a question, like you move to one side of the room and other people move to the other side of the room? We're gonna do that. So
Oh, great.
that's what we're gonna do now. Jasmine's gonna lead it.
Give me a hot second.
What about a cold second?
I think I got it.
I can't get this
Don't you
here.
have that on your
I have it on my phone. So
Celsius,
we
it's
need
gotta
to
be
get
something
me
like almost 200. That's almost 200, right? Fahrenheit? Something. Because 100 Celsius is 212 Fahrenheit.
Okay, quick show of hands, who's at least slightly experienced the exercise we're talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, you just go back and
Okay,
forth.
so I'm gonna give you a really high level summary just in case. So I'm gonna ask you a question that's either yes, no, or otherwise only has two answers. Yeses are gonna go on the side with my watch, and nos are gonna go on the other side. Because I'm not playing my left to your left, okay? We're gonna get 5 minutes to talk to those in your group. There will be our e-board members to talk about how they are represented in a given community. And then I'm gonna ask you another question. So, are we good? Does anyone have questions? Okay, excellent. So our first question is, are you a transfer student? Yeses go to this side with my watch, nos to the other. And then like, group together. Excellent. Okay.
Alumni. 2 years almost?
Why are you not at?
2 years?
So
I'm
you
the
wanna-
guy that says, I sound like you, or you sound like me, yeah.
No.
I don't know.
It's beautiful. Yes.
Do we really sound the same?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I kind of hear it, but I don't want to believe. Yeah. I get well. I'm not a problem. Hey. Actually, it is.
We're talking about being shy. Let's talk about being shy.
All of you, but there are breakout rooms. If you guys want to talk to each other, do the same event. I'll just repeatedly close and open them. So you guys can still do the things. So I encourage you to still do the event because I think there's a lot of you guys driving, having fun.
Why did you choose
Otherwise,
that?
like,
I've been all over the place. Honestly, I was always a business major. I knew that's what I wanted to do, just because it's like, you know, your parents tell you, you are going to, you know, get into business. That's never gonna go away. So I just stuck with it, but honestly, for the most part, most of my time being here, is like, I was kind of just floating around. It was mostly just like, you know what, I'm gonna do my classes and I'm just gonna, I'll get a degree and, you know, at that point, I'll switch it down or whatever, but it wasn't ended up that way. It wasn't until like and there are a lot of people the opportunities that I get. I just introduced to Swift initially from having to do a small little project in there. Introduction and since then, like being a part of Green Board, getting those opportunities, especially in terms of like communications, has exploded into like, so many different things. And it's been I'm super proud of it. Like being able to walk away with an orthopedic internship, and that feels like really good. Like I can walk away with this. Oh, and the second day over here, it's like these guys are you're gonna remember them for like a super long time. They're gonna be people that you're gonna go wrong. If you have any doubts, feel free to shoot or any questions.
What is your story? So I transferred out of non-SAC. Yeah, so non-SAC has absolutely nothing. So I think I of water. I just want to make an opportunity, but I wasn't really sure what the right path was. So my brother actually graduated from he was saying so I did CCBC. And I was pretty scared, honestly. I think like all of you guys know, like as transfers, we feel really behind. Like all these people had like 2 years ahead of us to go like whatever. And so I was worried about like I feel like these people like very like not through at all. Everyone probably just like looking for I asked like a lot of questions. And I was way I thought but I ended up being picked for the team. Really important thing, even in the industry, is people care about like your hard skills, like what skills you know, you can to school. One thing you can't teach people is like I was teach my company that I feel like you have these skills, but they just don't have the passion. They're like hard set, like yeah, I know these skills, I don't want to learn it. So having the passion like get you into there's no way I can get into this. I just know that I went from nothing to moving to a huge What's the reach back?
All right, so everybody, that's gonna be the end of your first 5-minute window. All right, so our second question is going to be, did you get started in cybersecurity and information security before you started college? Yes, once again, is going to be the right watch side, and no is going to be the other.
I did
So this is the young one.
Bro, this is just like everyone.
I don't know about that one.
Excellent. Another 5 minutes. It's got started in cyber and information security.
And the director of we had the Swift sysadmin.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so that person was trying to hear about
I have noticed.
No, that was me because I was yelling. So our last question is going to be, do you experience imposter syndrome? The breakout rooms are still open if you guys would like to divide yourself, but otherwise we encourage you to like discuss in here. I just have the room mics muted because it's kind of loud and chaotic, but since they're all on the same side, we can try it.
Okay, so like in general, like the.
Oh, no, just think about your accomplishments. A lot of times you're like there, like, oh, I don't know this, I don't know this. But I've done this.
Your fan fiction, it's so easy to look up to someone and be like, wow, I want to be like them. But am I ever going to get to that level? I'm assuming you're what I'm doing right now. I have a suggestion. Am I like because that's something that's Brad like cheating. You're not like it's there. I don't think crosswalk skills well. I would suggest OpenStack. OpenStack is designed for users. If you're like, or like Swift. But OpenStack is actually I came in as designed to manage, and I know my network and like consolidating. It's kind of like digital. It's kind of like digital. I'm still pretty. There's a version. There's still like somewhere. I'm somewhere. Same time, especially since these don't know too much about.
Yeah, it's kind of like that thing. Like,
It took me 5 minutes to load it.
How's your experience? I know like you've been going through a lot.
but nowhere illegal. I put the orbital weapon somewhere illegal.
Should just not have this. Should just.
Alex, why do you have imposter syndrome?
But you're also managing your own time.
Unless it was.
If you were to name one thing that's like holding you back from like very hard, what would that be? Like one thing that's like holding you back from being more like.
I've been doing crazy things. Friday was tough.
What would that one thing be?
So eBoard requirements we're actually going to go over after they finish answering this question. Or rather the skills, but the only qualification you need is to be a paid member, and paid memberships for the semester is still open and you can find them on our link tree. I can actually drop that, give me a second. Let me. So if you'd like to look at, oh no, you don't need any industry experience. It's the requirement is literally just to be a paid member. If you'd like to look at the position descriptions, they are linked in our link tree. I'm typing it. Give me a hot second. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Let me switch the mic back so you can still kind of hear everybody. Oh, lovely. Okay, hold on. There we go.
For you guys, like, if you guys started.
Tuesdays.
All right, everybody, that is going to be the end of our third and final 5-minute window. I'd like to thank you all for sharing. And if there's any follow-up conversations you'd like to have.
Everyone, hello. How you doing? Hi. Everyone, quiet down, please.
All right, so if y'all can find your way back to our seats, we're actually going to go ahead and introduce the positions that we have open for eBoard this year. If you'd like to continue any conversations or reach out to eBoard, a version of these slides will be shared with all of our contact information under the groups that we
I'm pretty sure I got it.
You didn't get me. Stickers.
Directive stickers. Just made that
We need to make sure about that. No, the real something is you have like a photo of stickers you have to get rid of. All right, guys. Hello, everybody. As I mentioned earlier, I will be the Vice President of Operations for next year. So I will be introducing the roles that will be underneath my department. The first thing that we're going to cover is Director of Labs. So Director of Labs is the position that focus mostly on like research opportunities and other larger scale projects that we're going to have like throughout the semester, stuff like that. So you're going to be working a lot on projects that extend over multiple months, or even, like I mentioned, like research opportunities either with this school, another school. Your goal is to try to bring a bunch of these kinds of new developing opportunities to as many people as possible. And that goes beyond just the people in the board. You're also trying to get people in regular Swift to be able to have these opportunities as well. The next role that we have is Director of Academy, which is the role that I currently have. Director of Academy is going to be focused on the Tuesday and Friday meetings, such as this one. Your main goal is going to be like organizing and making sure that everybody knows exactly what they're going to be doing on the Tuesday and Friday meetings. You're going to schedule all of the topics for every week. You're going to make sure that if somebody needs to like, rain check, that you can get somebody to replace them, or you have content that can kind of fill that gap, stuff like that. Making sure that if somebody has a new idea, that you can deliver the resources or people or expertise that somebody else might have to that person or group, so that every idea can have the same platform. And the last position that will be elected for is the Director of Infrastructure. So that will be things such as setting up laptops that we have for workshops, managing the Telco Lab, which is where we host our servers and stuff like that for virtual infrastructure, as well as just maintaining the lab and stuff like the Zoom and all that kind of stuff, all the different things, odds and ends of what Swift relies on in order to be functioning. You're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff with both physical and virtual components. Don't worry if you don't have the most expertise in that. There's still a lot of developing in that position. It's a newer position.
But it's definitely one that we are really excited to open up for everyone. This last position here, Director of RVB, as you can see, it is appointed separately. What that means is that after we have selected everyone in eBoard and the Swinternship program, which we'll talk about in a little bit, the Director of RVB is pretty much the person who's going to be leading a particular Red versus Blue event. This can be anybody that's either in eBoard or the Swinternship program. It's pretty much you kind of self-volunteer yourself. And the vice president and president will kind of be like vote you in kind of thing, so that you can lead that project. It's a very specific role for that Red versus Blue event, meaning that for every Red versus Blue event, there could be a different director of RVP. But that's pretty much how that role works. You're going to be in control of everything related to leading the design of the event, leading like communication with either the different schools or Cal Poly as a school, and you're going to be working with everybody else to try to build that Red versus Blue event. And I think that covers just about everything on operations side.
So as Taylor mentioned earlier, internal and external are new kind of divisions of the admin Swift. So I'll be VP of internal, and working directly under me would be the director of membership. This role will focus a lot on trying to get membership engagement, trying to get you guys to show up to the meetings and feel heard and feel like you guys walk away with knowledge and that you guys can reach out to eBoard at any time. We want to really facilitate that relationship as best as we can to make sure that everybody has the best experience possible at Swift, and that eBoard can share as much of our knowledge as we can with all of you guys. Director of marketing is working with obviously the director of membership to try to promote all of these events, try to get you guys to come here and be interested in sitting down. Currently, I think Jasmine has some experience with this role.
Absolutely. So essentially, all you really need to worry about is communicating with our members, sending out the emails that I'm sure you guys love getting, help everyone keep track of what we are on, and keeping that open line of communication.
Our social event coordinator would be the person who plans our socials. We're planning to have a lot more socials next year to try to get you guys to come out here and feel comfortable with talking to eBoard, and try to make us not feel like a separate entity, but more like friends, and we can have fun and do stuff outside of our technical workshops together. This would include games, probably potlucks, stuff like that. So social event coordinator would be in charge of that. Yes, Minecraft is very possible. And then we'll have our social media coordinator who would be in charge of running our Instagram page, stuff like that. I think, is Emily here? You want to talk more about social media?
As well as our meetings.
And Wendy, do you want to talk more about it as well?
Hi, I'm the current director of marketing. Basically, be like that, or just like the goals, brainstorming like ideas of first one.
We also have our graphic designer who is in charge of creating all the infographics and the stuff that you see on Instagram, the beautiful graphics that we post on our stories every day. And then lastly, we have our webmaster who's in charge of building our website. We found that this is a pretty daunting task. So if you guys have web dev experience, this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to expand on that. Do we have Maimuna here?
Oh, yeah, me.
And so I'm currently working on the website on Facebook. You learn a lot of space like learning.
But basically the goal of internal next year would be to increase membership engagement and make sure that you guys feel like Swift is a huge community that you guys can always come and reach out to.
And Our last section is going to be external. Like I said earlier, this is going to be where you're working with non-members, non-students essentially, right? And strengthening our club positions. So we have 4 main positions here, although I expect that at least a couple of these will end up being larger teams. So our first one's going to be sponsorship coordinator, where you're in charge of reaching out to companies, generating our sponsorship package and our strategy so that we can raise enough funds to facilitate everything ops and internal would like to do to strengthen our club community as a whole. Then we have our alumni relations coordinator. We're going to be working with the SWIFT Alumni Network to bring in speakers, help with info sessions and career talks to help get you guys placements after you graduate and bring some of that knowledge back into SWIFT. Our third is going to be our community outreach coordinator, where you're working with us to give back to our local community, like the high school RBBs, and we're also developing a relationship with the Girl Scouts to help them get their cybersecurity badge. And our fourth is going to be our tech symposium chair, and that's currently Jess, so she can speak to it.
Hey guys, I'm currently the tech symposium chair this year, and by the way, it's happening 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, March 19th. It will be held on Discord, so I hope to see all of you there. But basically what we do over tech symposiums, we get a bunch of our alumni to come back, or people that we've worked with in the past, previous managers or coworkers that we really respect, and we know that they can, present information in a way that's really engaging. And we try to get them to come back and share as much of their knowledge from, working in the actual job market, and try to get you guys in a better position to go for those jobs. In addition, we also have a lot of companies that come back to network with you guys or to scout basically from our SWIFT community. There will be at least like 20 job positions that companies are going to be looking for amongst us at this tech symposium. And next year will probably be in person, hopefully. So I would expect even more of that. So please, please, please come out to tech symposium. It's a huge part of our external facing part of SWIFT. And I hope that you guys can all get something out of this.
Kind of in the link tree, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to sign up, if you haven't already, Linktree is, I guess, somewhere on our Instagram.
It's on the Instagram, it's in the Zoom chat. I guess I can just pull up where it is in the Zoom chat.
I can drop the TS.
Okay. Just
I swear.
I can do this, which one is on your link tree?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the tech symposium link tree is actually linked in the SWIFT one, right? Okay. I don't think it is either. But it's fine.
Yeah, so if you want more information on the eBoard positions, there's a link, a little small, but it's there. GD/eBoard 2223. Move on. So you've probably been wondering what happened to assistants. We've had assistants this eBoard, but fortunately, we're not, it's not even loading. Okay, but we're not gonna have assistants this time around, but we have something even better. So we're gonna bring back to you guys winter program. These are us winters, Dylan from Troy, Jacob from Troy, and Evan from Troy. But Jessica, you want to talk more about winterns?
Oh yeah, of course. So our primary goal for Swinterns are for people who, don't really have an idea of what they want to do on eBoard yet. For example, we just threw a bunch of positions at you, but if you really don't feel like any of those speak to you, or you're not sure in how you can contribute, or perhaps people who are just not very confident in their abilities, and they're like, oh, I can't really help much on eBoard, but then they're very passionate about SWIFT, and they're trying their best to be an engaging member and asking us if we need help with projects. If we realize that potential in you, we'll be like, hey, you want to become a swintern and just kind of throw you around all sorts of projects, so we're gonna rotate between ops, internal and external. For example, if I needed help with planning a social event, or if Gabe needed help with hosting an RVB, he'd be like, hey, do you guys want to try red teaming? And then you'll learn just different parts of Swift that we've been taking up over the years. And then hopefully through the Swintern program, you can now decide what your true passion for Swift would be. If Jacob wants to talk about his experience.
Yeah, it's very easy to ask what you can do.
Stand up.
So, yeah, I've been going around with operations and admin a lot. Operations, I kind of just ask what I can help with. Putting stuff on AWS, but it's really easy to ask what you can do, and a lot of the people reach out to me as well to see like if I want to do something. It's very not like the tech get involved. Really appreciate that, and what I like about this. Be a swintern if you don't know what to do.
Only reason why Jacob's been doing all of this is because I've been, threatening to crimp his fingers.
Oh yes,
Every time.
I got 10 of my fingers.
Basically, Swintern it's fun. So I could talk more. So get to be really part of really cool things and learn more about what eBoard does, and hopefully that'll get you guys more of an idea of what you want to do. Hopefully, if you do want to become eBoard, after becoming a Swintern. So we'll get more information on this in April, and this is going to be after our main eBoard election. So stay tuned for that. Yep, and I think that's it. Thanks for it's not loading. Okay, the next slide is supposed to be just saying thanks for coming out. So maybe I'll upload thing or like update. But that's basically it for the meeting. I want to thank you guys, and thank you all for coming out and hearing about what we have to offer in terms of our Swift experiences, and hopefully that encourage you guys a little bit more to consider running for eBoard for maybe even the Swintern. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody have a Swift sticker?
I don't think so.